Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So let's get into today's show. So as you guys know, for the longest time, ESPN has been twerking it up for LeBron James. Day in and day out, even throughout this whole free agency period, where he was trying to figure out what team he wanted to go sign with. You had them doing PowerPoint presentations. You had people like Kendrick Perkins talking about LeBron is still a top 10 player. Why didn't Giannis pitch this guy? Why didn't the Lakers should give LeBron James a statue. The Lakers should prioritize LeBron over Austin. It's like one show after the other, to the point where when Skip Bayless came back about a few months ago to ESPN to do that show with Stephen A. Smith, it was legitimately a breath of fresh air. It was like, oh my God, finally, a different point of view on the network. Yeah, you may call Skip Bayless, he is a hater and will troll or whatever the hell it is, but at least we're getting a different point of view on things. And many of us have always said, and I've said, ESPN is the LeBron James network. But little did I know that this was actually a thing, like a real thing. So yesterday, I came across a show from Ric Bucher's channel. And this particular episode is called, Has LeBron Lost the power he once had? Are the Lakers responsible if he has? So I clicked on the show to watch it. And as you guys know, a lot of people have gotten upset with Ric Bucher over LeBron's free agency the decision. And they tried to spin it in a way like, oh, LeBron is in the power seat. He left the Lakers and blah, 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 blah. And Ric Bucher said, no, it's not the case. It's just not the case. He's not. They're like, you can't be on a veteran minimum talking about you're the boss here. He's like, even if you look at teams, like they were filling up their rosters and keeping one or two spots remaining for you and potentially Bronny. That doesn't make, like, you're not in a power position. And people like Shannon Sharp and others came after Ric Bucher. But the one thing that they couldn't question is his credibility and his tenure in sports media, because Bucher has been covering sports for decades. So during this episode that I was watching yesterday, he didn't reveal, because if you guys remember, Bucher used to work at ESPN. And he spoke about when he realized that ESPN was in bed with LeBron James all the way back in 2009, 2010. And I was like, so this explains it all. Take a quick listen to Ric Bucher here.
Use your thinking caps. The teams that are interested in LeBron are teams that are desperate for one reason or another and see rolling the dice on LeBron for a year or two as a worthwhile risk. That's still having value, but that's not leverage, and certainly not the leverage LeBron once enjoyed. And maybe I don't need to say this, but I will, since I get the sense that there are people sampling my work and perspective for the first time, even though I've been at this for 30 years now. Do the math. That means that I was at this well before LeBron showed up. There are people in the media who have built careers off of their views on LeBron, both favorable and unfavorable, but I am not one of them. I started covering the league 9 years before he arrived. I was hired by ESPN right around The Last Dance, 4 years before LeBron arrived. I left ESPN to do a national radio show so I could reduce my travel and be the kind of dad my dad had been for me. I also left because I believe NBA coverage didn't begin and end with LeBron. And over the course of my 14 years there, that was increasingly the way ESPN viewed the league. When I learned ESPN brass was negotiating with LeBron's camp to announce his decision in 2010 at the ESPYs, while I and others were going on air to talk about when he might make his announcement, without making us aware of those negotiations, I knew the network's relationship with LeBron had taken precedent over supporting the people covering him.
So you heard what Rick had to say. I don't think anyone can question what Rick is saying, especially based off of all of the things that we've been seeing over the last few years. It all makes perfect sense. Even Stephen A. Smith is not allowed to be upset with LeBron too long on ESPN because he got to sit up there and twerk it up. If you look at the days when Stephen A. Smith is not on First Take and you just look at the fill-ins, it's like everybody's twerking. Even the new moderator on First Take, even her. Chris Mad Dog Russo came out and said, this is taking too long, man. Just make a decision like sports fans are. And the new moderator started getting upset with Chris Broussard. With Chris Mad Dog Russo for giving that opinion. Like, how dare you? Don't you know where we work? I mean, just look at the entire network. Malika Andrews, Dave McMenamin, Kendrick Perkins, even Stephen A. Smith to a certain extent. The whole lot of them. The only people that I've heard come out and give like views that weren't like not allegiance, that kind of were aligned. What most of what comes out of ESPN was Michael Wilbon last year when he said, I refuse to, like when he made or PK Subban. You remember, like when it's a reason why whenever these guys speak and they say those things, they stand out. It makes headlines because you're not used to that from that network. Look at the coverage of ESPN games when LeBron is playing. Listen to Richard Jefferson or I forgot the lady that used to cover the game. Just listen to the coverage. It's like, damn, like what? Like y'all covering sports or y'all covering this dude? Like what is this? And this perfectly explains it all. And in case you didn't know, that decision that he was referring to, former NBA Commissioner David Stern was against it. He tried to get that decision to not actually happen. He was against it. Now, if it was Adam Silver, he would. I mean, well, we can't really talk much about Adam Silver because he's just a total pushover. I mean, you saw the news when he said that I wish LeBron would hurry up and make his decision. And you saw what came out after that LeBron and his camp were irritated by Adam Silver requesting for LeBron to make a decision soon enough. And therefore, that caused him to delay his decision by a few days or whatever it is. But now, obviously, as we're doing the show, LeBron is already signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, which to me further indicates that he knows that he's never going to be Michael Jordan. And that the only way he can truly compete for titles is when he's on a super team. And if he's not on a super team, he's not really interested in competing. Even if you think about the times this guy's won titles, it's usually been on super teams. That's the case. So this makes perfect sense. It's the reason why ESPN was praising Bronny and all of this stuff. It's the reason why. You couldn't even say one negative word about the guy. That's the reason why you remember when LeBron did that appearance on Road Trip and when he said to Richard Jefferson, nothing gonna happen to you, man. You work at ESPN. Nothing gonna happen to you. And all of us were like, wait, what? What you mean nothing gonna happen to you? You work at ESPN, like this and this and this. He was revealing the pull and the power that he has at that company. Shams, who do you think gives Shams all this information? You think Shams has like a crystal ball, or he turns into Batman at night and hops on across the rooftops trying to find information? It's Rich Paul. How else? How else? When the whole story of Russell Westbrook becoming a locker room vampire, who do you think put out that story? Who? It was Dave McMenamin. Who does Dave McMenamin cover closely on the left? It was LeBron. Come on, like we all know the game here. But I'm just surprised that Ric Bucher now is actually like saying what was going on 15, 16 years ago. It all makes perfect sense now.